All right, good evening, Blue Jay fans, and welcome to Bondurant, Iowa for the first round of playoffs between the visiting Indianola Indians and your home Bondurant for our Blue Jays. Patrick Meyer here with Josh Gibson on the call. How you doing, Josh?
Great. Excited for a good night of football, a little rematch from a couple weeks ago, so it should be a good night.
Absolutely, yeah. Just 2 short weeks ago, these teams met up right here on a night not all that different from tonight. A little chilly, and yeah.
It could definitely be a lot worse for the first round of the playoffs. This is a pretty nice night. You'd take this anytime for a first round of the playoffs.
Very true. It has been a lot worse for a first round of playoffs. So, yeah, not too often we get a rematch in the first round, especially, in this situation where it's 2 district opponents. But that's the way the bracket fell out. And so here we are with 2 very familiar opponents, and we'll look for an exciting game. The last one was fairly exciting. 28-14 was the final, 14-14 at halftime. Quite a bit of passing overall in that game, and kind of expecting a similar type of night tonight, don't you think?
It definitely was a really good first half out of both teams. Like you said, 14-14. But I think the Blue Jays kind of showed their dominance in the second half. And when you look at the numbers, I think we ended up with a little over 400 yards of offense, and they were around 200. So I think going into tonight's game, we'll probably try to do a lot of the same stuff. Sure. Looking back since we lost to Carlisle, maybe that was a good thing, a little bit of a wake-up call. We're 162-27 over the next few games. So I think we've kind of found our groove. We've really became balanced offensively, throwing and running the ball, and defensively we've really been locked in. I think for Indianola to have some kind of chance, and I said this last time, they're going to have to be able to establish a run a little bit. They did have 2 nice runs against us, but really other than that, and I still think if teams are going to run it, it's going to have to be a little bit of the quarterback mixed in, and then obviously they got to find a way to get the ball to Kingery.
Right. That's one thing we didn't see them try all that much in the first game, and we were kind of surprised the entire time, and we double-teamed them pretty much the entire time, but Kingery is the type of athlete, whether he's double-teamed or not, you still try to find a way to get him the ball.
We made it as tough as we could, and I agree. I was a little surprised they didn't try just a few times. I think they did twice maybe, still just to throw it up there because he is pretty good.
We'll step aside for the national anthem.
At this time, would you please remove...
Okay, coming back from the national anthem, we postseason we didn't have the band available for tonight, so just a regular recording. But
the other thing Indianola might have a little bit is they lost, so they know they got to make some adjustments.
Right.
Whereas if you're Bondurant and you outgain a team by over 200 yards, you really shut them down. You're thinking, hey, we don't have to do a whole lot. So I would assume that Indianola's going to try to come out with some sort of trick plays or some sort of way to get Kingery the ball or some other type of screens they were a little bit successful with. So they do have, that going for them. I guess maybe the other thing we've seen the last 2 weeks is Batney Riak has really created problems for two teams that really like to throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, 3.5 sacks, drew multiple penalties, ended up with a 2nd and 48 basically because of him.
Yeah.
And against Indianola, I think he only had 1 sack, but he was in Brick's face the entire night and forced a lot of early passes or bad passes. So I think that might be step one for Indianola is how are we going to block him?
Right.
And then go from there.
Because he's kind of looked like a guy who one person isn't going to block. And if you have to commit the running back to help on that or to keep, Flaherty's kind of their tight end when he lines up that way. If you have to keep 2 guys in, though, to guard a defensive end, we might end up sending a linebacker through on a blitz and have an option there too.
And the nice thing it's done is it has required 2 guys to block him, and we've still been able to get pressure with just 3 guys going at the quarterback. So you can drop 8, and if you want to mix a blitz in there every now and then, go for it. You're probably going to get home with it. So he has really started to cause some problems for opponents.
Offensively, Blue Jays, they've really had a very efficient offense the last 2 weeks, very balanced, 250 passing yards and 150, 200 rushing yards each game. And
we saw a lot of the Wildcat early on, and we'll still see it every now and then, but I think we've kind of figured out that we're probably tougher to defend with Colby at quarterback and putting Titus at running back or even splitting him out and then bringing in more. We just got a lot of weapons, especially when we go to that 3-4 wide set. It's tough for other teams to guard everyone.
Yeah, Colby's been really efficient with his passing this year, and so when you line up Titus as that split back, even if he doesn't come in the jet motion, it's another really, really athletic receiving option, and we've run him through on just a short screen all the way across the field, and you catch it in open space, and he's got options, and it's been really exciting. Downfield blocking's been fantastic, both from the line and from the receivers, and so
the biggest thing I think they have to avoid tonight is self-induced problems. We've had some negative plays that got us behind the sticks, and we've had some penalties. If we avoid that, I just think that Indianola is going to have a really hard time slowing us down.
Yeah, very much. And Bondurant's going to start out with the ball here tonight. So Indianola's kickoffs were pretty standard. 2 weeks ago, Indianola wasn't really returning the kicks, so it was kind of an interesting move. We'll see if they adjust. We saw they were warming up their kick return here before the game, which a lot of times you don't see. So.
Yeah, that's not a normal routine when you actually put the kickoff return team out there to practice it before the game. See if that pays off for them.
Talon Hayworth, the deep man for the Blue Jays. Titus Cram and Tyson Barkema just in front of him. Ball's going to get all the way back to Talon, caught at about the 10, and he's looking for a path up the middle, and he's still up and going to get brought down at the 36, 37-yard line. Almost thought he was going to break that for a second. They made contact, and he just didn't go down.
He kind of bounced off. It was one of those shoulder hits where they didn't wrap up, and just kind of ricocheted and kept going for a nice return out to the 35, 36-yard line.
I was a little nervous because the way he kind of stopped and his back was to us, I thought maybe he lost the ball. So Blue Jays are going to come out. Falsgraf is tight to the left. He's got 2 fullbacks to the right side in front of Collison with Titus Cram in the backfield. And we hand it off to Titus. He's looking to get outside to the left.
Oh,
that's going to get the block.
Yeah, I think
on that one.
John forgot he was on offense.
It was a good tackle.
Yep. One of the best tacklers in the state of Iowa got one there. Unfortunately, it was that tight end. That's what I was just talking about, avoiding those penalties and getting behind the sticks. That's really the only time we've kind of stopped ourselves this year is penalties, turning the ball over, because teams have a hard time slowing us down when we don't make those kind of mistakes.
That's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so it's going to be 1st and 17. Falsgraf going wide left this time. 2 fullbacks to the left. Cram still in the backfield. High snap, and Titus is going to pick it up going backwards. Going to try and make a man miss. Trying to get to the outside edge, and gets back to about the 20.
He was about one guy away from really turning that into something there. We've seen that a couple times, too, the last few weeks, though, that high snap. and just can't quite bring it in.
Now it's
Definitely not the start they were looking for here.
Brings up 2nd and 25.
So we're at the 19. The line to gain is the 45. So try to pick up some of it here. It's only 2nd down. Falsgraf man in motion, coming near side. Has a block, and he's got an opening. No flags so far. Falsgraf coming down the sideline, being chased down. Is going to get tackled at the 35. That's going to be Charlie Wilmot with the touchdown-saving tackle, but Falsgraf picks up a big first down on the jet sweep.
I'm pretty sure he was a little surprised it was that open. We ran that with him a few times at the beginning of the year and kind of concluded that maybe he's not a jet sweep guy, but when it's that open, he is a jet sweep guy.
So Falsgraf with the gain of 46 on the carry. And Blue Jays now in really good field position at the 35. Barkema and Ryle going to the right. Falsgraf and Cram to the left. Kayla Moore joining Collison in the backfield. Cram, the man in motion, play action. A little dump off to Kayla Moore. Nice little shovel pass. Going to pick up about 5.
Yep, there's a little wrinkle that we haven't seen.
Actually, 7 is how far he got. So
guys tend to bite on that jet sweep when Titus is running it. And so that's a pretty good little wrinkle right there.
You know, they've been putting a lot of things on film the last couple of weeks. I know you've talked about that all year. I'm putting as many things on film as possible. That one wasn't on film. We've never seen that before. So we got 2 fullbacks to the left now, Powers and Vanderlinden and Cram in the backfield now. Collison hands it off, going to the right side with lead block behind winger. And Cram is brought down by Wilmot again, but it's going to be right at the first down marker.
That was a nice tackle.
And they're going to call first down.
I didn't think he was going to be able to get him down. We've seen Titus break that tackle quite a few times this year, but he held on just enough and was able to get him down. But Titus was able to get that first down.
Real good job by Charlie Wilmot of sliding around the offensive lineman that was lead blocking that, because if he doesn't do that, Titus is probably gone. Falsgraf wide left now. 2 fullbacks in the backfield again. Press coverage on Falsgraf to the near side. Cram going up the middle and falls forward for a yard. Got it wrapped up by the ankle there at the very start. I think that was Johnny Menke.
Which led Indianola in tackles the last time we played him. I think he had around 12.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good linebacker. Had Titus stopped almost at the line of scrimmage for negative play or no gain, so Titus does a nice job picking up 1 yard there, but wasn't really a whole lot there up the middle.
Nope. 2nd and 9. We saw that kind of last game. Titus had a pretty big first half, and Indianola made some adjustments and really didn't give up a whole lot of yards to him in the second half, but it really opened up the rest of the offense. Cram with the keeper going to the left side and has his ankle wrapped up by Charlie Wilmot that time, and he's going to be brought down for a loss of 1.
The Ventals had a pretty good hit there cleaning him up. Once again, we just kind of see that there's not a whole lot at the line of scrimmage, and 4 or 5 guys get there to finish that off. 3rd and long here. We have been really good in the passing game. We've seen Falsgraf a ton here the last couple weeks. On the comeback route, it does look like they got some safety help.
And there's going to be a flag. Is that false start? Yep.
Flag on the field.
Just gives us a little more room to work with.
Yeah, you're going to bring it back to the 30. Blue Jays are probably in 4-down territory here.
I would think so.
I'm not sure we're settling for too many field goals from either team tonight. You're looking to score touchdowns, and neither team has tried a whole lot of field goals. So
it looked like Indianola there was going to kind of press Reed a little bit, or at least have the corner play up on him and play the safety over the top. So try to take away that go route or the comeback.
You got trips right now. Falsgraf man in motion, taking that jet sweep again. They must see something there on film about that as an option. Falsgraf trying to get back inside, but nowhere to go. It's going to gain about a yard, and then a whole swarm of Indians come down to break the tackle.
They were definitely ready for it that time, and now it's 4th and 14. Probably go for it. You know, you punt. I guess maybe you could get it inside the 10.
Yeah.
But it looks like we're keeping the offense out on the field.
Yeah. You're at a 46-yard field goal, which is not something you're going to try when you haven't been trying field goals.
No, we've just been scoring touchdowns, so that's really probably not a legitimate option.
Ryle wide left, Barkema left, Cram left, and Falsgraf to the right. Collison steps up, has the ball downfield to Titus Cram. Titus Cram is going to not able to make the catch.
That was a really, really good throw.
Yep.
And Titus was doing everything he could to get underneath it. He had to be in a full sprint to get there.
Yeah.
Indians kind of luck out on that one because that should have been a touchdown.
Yeah. Colby did what you needed him to do. He threw the ball as high as he could basically and let Titus settle under it, and Titus got under it, just wasn't quite able to secure that. And credit to the Indians. They had good pressure on him right away to make him step up and throw that. But, I'm sure Titus is going to want that one back. So Indianola is going to take over at the 29. Twins right, Kingery far right, and they look to get the ball out to him right away. And
gosh, that sure looked like it bounced.
Kingery saying, nope, I secured the catch. It's like he heard you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to zoom in here because could have swore that thing bounced.
So gain of 7 on the play.
Brought down the play by number 5, Jordan Ryle.
Ryle and Vanderlinden in on the tackle. Twins left now, Shivers and Kingery going to the left side. Fullback and tailback in the backfield, Eddington and Menke. Stacked receivers on the left side. They hand it off up the middle up to Eddington, and he's looking to break a tackle, but not able to this time. Batney said, no, I've seen that before. We're going back.
And like I mentioned last game, they didn't have a ton of success running the football. However, he did have 2 pretty nice runs. I think he had 2 touchdown runs.
He had 2 touchdown runs, and both of them were by breaking tackles.
Yep, right up the middle. So similar to that play right there.
So now we're going to be 3rd and 3. Shivers to the left, Kingery and Fox to the right, I think.
It looks like Barkham was drawing Kingery tonight.
Fox, the man in motion. They're handed off up the middle of Eddington, and nowhere to go. John Powers with the blast double.
He did not forget what side of the ball he was on there. It looked like wrestling season had started.
He's ready.
That was a 2-point takedown for sure. I think Indianola maybe thought they were going to surprise us by running the football there on 3rd and 4, but didn't surprise John Powers. Nice play out of him, and good stand there out of the Jays, forcing a 3-and-out on the first possession.
Punt's going to be up, and Falsgraf drifting toward the sidelines. He looks like he's going to let it bounce and let it go out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Actually, they're going to say the 20-yard line. That's better than I thought it was. So,
yeah, I think I was going to maybe agree with you on that one. Around the 18, I thought. But yeah, it definitely bounced again on the 18 before it went out.
So Blue Jays will have their second possession here. They moved the ball the first time but weren't quite able to finish the drive. We'll see what type of action we get this time.
And we did have a couple penalties. We got to avoid that. We had the really bad snap. All right. It wasn't a really bad snap. We didn't handle the snap. Who are we missing here? Looks like
the result was a really bad snap. So we're bringing in Vanderlinden as the fullback. We got Twins right, Falsgraf and Barkema.
Plenty of time.
Caleb Moore, the man in the backfield. Barkema coming opposite side now. Collison hands off to Moore. Moore trying to get up the middle. Nowhere to go. Good defensive movement by the front line of the Indians.
Once again, we just haven't had a lot of success on the inside. We've had a little bit more success when we've ran counter or power to the outside. But like you mentioned, sometimes you got to run those and get your 1-2 yard gains to help set up other stuff. It will set up play action.
Keep them honest.
And we did hit a long one against them last week or 2 weeks ago. Titus's first touchdown was about a 60-yarder right up the middle.
Yeah.
Looks like Titus is taking a rest on this one.
So Caleb Moore still in the backfield. Barkema was the man in motion. Play action. Collison's looking downfield. He's going to try to get away from the first man and does. Dives forward. It's going to still be brought down in the backfield. Good pressure by the Indians. All right. Well, we're back with some technical difficulties, so sorry about that. Our production truck is a little bit frustrated with the night for some reason, but
we got a flag way back there coming from the back
after
judge.
The play too,
I'm not for sure. We had a little screen, that middle screen that we like to run to our tailback. I'm not for sure.
Holding on the defense.
Penalty is holding against the Indians.
Not one you see a ton on a screenplay, but you could have a person that's holding the running back or holding an offensive lineman, preventing them from getting downfield to block. So that's going to give us a first down.
So assuming we lost screen for a little bit there, what you would have missed is a quarterback draw by Colby Collison on third down that picked up 12, and then a 21-yard pass play from Collison to Barkema. Barkema made a falling down diving catch that turned out really well. And now we're 1st and 10 after the penalty.
Pass.
Ryle, the pass, downfield, has Falsgraf open, and it's just going to be a little over his head. Nice design play, just a little bit too much on it.
That's the nice thing about having a wide receiver who's your backup quarterback. He throws a really good ball, and I think he might have got just a little excited there because
he saw how open Reed was.
He was pretty open, definitely had a couple steps on his defender, and just missed him. Good play, though.
Yep. I like it. That'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 10. Falsgraf had a good 3 or 4 steps on the defenders. So on 2nd and 10, Falsgraf and Ryle are going to come split left. Andrew Keith, the tight end, to the left. Caleb Moore and Titus Cram in the backfield. Cram looking to bounce to the right, trying to get outside with the stiff arm, gets the edge, drives ahead, and picks up the first down after lowering his shoulder to gain 12.
That stiff arm he delivers is really tough for most high school kids to handle. Just a super strong kid, and if you don't get into his legs when he does that, you're not going to get him down.
Of course, it's hard to get into his legs once he's got that arm out there.
Nope,
you really want help.
You almost have to time it up where you're diving, or you got to grab the arm and pull the arm down.
Same formation here, except Caleb Moore's on the opposite side. Collison takes the snap at the 28.
Counter.
Caleb Moore coming near side, looking to cut up field. Not a lot of room. Probably fell forward for a yard.
We saw that for the final touchdown, I think, last week against Norwalk, that little counter play with Caleb. But
it was a pretty effective play last week. I think they probably ran it 3 or 4 times and had success on all but one.
Indianola was definitely ready for it there.
Also another play, number 17, Charlie Willman.
So 2nd and 9.
Bluejays.
Ball at the 27. Falsgraf and Barkema coming near side. Not split wide, though. Pitch out to Cram. Cram trying to get to the edge. Now cuts up the middle. Has a little bit of a hole and is brought down at the 24.
Nice cut out of Titus because Indianola did a good job of sealing that edge and not giving up their outside shoulder, forcing him back. Good 4-yard gain. Set us up for about a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5 here.
Again, 4-down territory.
Yeah, you really could run anything here. You could run it again, any of the play action stuff, or just have Colby drop back and throw it.
Yeah. They've had pretty good pressure defensively so far this game on when Colby's dropped back. Of course, he took advantage of that on the QB draw. Cram and Falsgraf to the right, Ryle and Barkman to the left. Collison looking left the whole way, and Johnny Menke just plows through and makes the sack.
I don't think Caleb was prepared for what he was bringing to the table there because Caleb's a pretty sturdy lad, and Menke just drove him back and right into Collison.
That's going to be a loss of about 7 on the play.
Very similar situation, almost identical to what we were on the first drive, about a 4th and 14, 15 here.
Yep.
Going to go to quarter, it looks like. I'm almost tempted upon it just because I don't think they're going to do a whole lot offensively.
Sure.
And if you can pin them inside the 10, John's done a nice job punting this year.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had a few where he's just booted it really high and allowed good coverage. And so we'll see what type of options we have here.
Just because 4th and 16 is that's
a long way.
That's a long ways.
Yep. Your margin for error isn't great. So So as we move into the end of the first quarter, we want to thank 3P Carpentry and Construction for sponsoring this broadcast. 3P Carpentry and Construction serves Bondurant and the Des Moines area with all areas of home improvement, specializing in trim carpentry, basement finishes, remodels, and decks. With a list of happy customers and repeat customers, our work speaks for itself. Thank you, 3P Carpentry and Construction. 3P is Riley Prusman. You're familiar with Riley. I'm pretty sure you coached him for a little while.
Yep. He was a 3-year starter for us at quarterback, and to be honest with you, he is very similar to Colby Collison. I think they have a lot of identical traits. He was a really good thrower. He didn't get a play in an offense that we threw it down the field a whole lot. It was a lot of I formation and power counter type of stuff.
Sure.
He would have definitely excelled in what the Jays are doing right now. But
similar
great
build, similar height,
and also a really good basketball player. So.
But now that he's out of high school, he's doing carpentry, doing remodel work. He even helped out the high school class that they do a construction house every year. So he helped them out, showed them some of the
trim work
that he has.
Yep.
Yeah. And we are going to go for it out of here, 4th down. So we got trips right, Falsgraf solo to the left. Collison drops straight back, has a little bit of time, gets the ball away to Ryle. That's going to be short of the first down. Makes the catch. It's going to be at the 21.
And if Colby would have had just a little bit more time, he might have been able to deliver that thing with Ryle able to run for the first down. But he was getting hit as he threw it.
Yeah.
And really pretty fortunate we just completed that. That's a pretty nice play out of Colby.
Yep. And it results in effectively a 13-yard punt.
Yep, pretty much.
It's basically a touchback. So Indianola, twins each side, Shivers wide left, Kingery on the high side, and they're going to hand it off to Edgington trying to get outside. Gets the edge. Falsgraf's going to take him out of bounds after a gain of 5.
That's a pretty effective run play for him. They'll definitely take 5 or 6 yards on the ground to help them try to stay a little balanced. You know, as we saw last time we played them, they were pretty pass heavy, so I'm sure they'd like to get a few more yards on the ground this time.
It's one of the first times they tried to get Edgington outside against us as well. Trips left, looking left the whole way. We have a wheel route coming this way, and Batney's going to get the sack from behind. Ball is down, and they're going to say he was down by contact. Andrew Keith, good pressure on him, forced him to step up, and then Batney came around from the backside and laid the hammer down.
Yeah, it looked like Quentin Fulton came in and really cleaned that thing up and forced the ball out, but I would have to agree it was him bouncing off the turf to force that ball out. We did a nice job of covering up their route combo there out of their bunch trio formation.
There was a wheel coming this way, but there was nowhere near enough time for that thing to develop.
There wasn't anybody open, it didn't look like.
Indianola shifts, trips left now. Kingery alone on the high side, and Brick's looking downfield, gets the ball away, complete to Johnsey Hale, and Johnsey Hale's going to pick up the first down.
He's close, isn't he? Did he get it? Yeah, it looks like they're signaling. Wow.
Okay.
Really nice job out of Brick to get rid of that thing under some pressure and a pretty good run there.
Bennett Brick, to his receiver number 11, Johns Hale. Right now the play by number 21.
One thing we had talked about is we have 3 of probably the best 4A quarterbacks all in this district, with Hookstein that's out against Norwalk, and then Colby and Brick. They put up numbers. They looked real comfortable in the pocket, and you saw why right there with Brick making something happen. Edgington trying to run up the middle and almost slipped a tackle. Caleb Moore is able to bring him down.
It looks like this is kind of their game plan here a little bit. I think they thought they've maybe found something in the run game, because they've ran it more than they've thrown it, and now they've went back-to-back run plays with quite a bit of success here.
Picks up 6 through the middle, maybe 7. Yeah, they're spreading us out and getting the defenders way wide, and makes it a little harder to make that tackle up the middle. Kingery to the near side with Ryle and Barkman. I got an eye on him. Trips right. Shivers man in motion. Edgington up the middle, but nowhere to go this time. John Powers again. He's really ready for wrestling season with the double legs.
Well, and you've heard me say this before. I think when you start to game plan against our defense, he probably is the guy you got to start with. Batney's been definitely an issue the last 2 weeks, but you got to account for him when you're running the football. And whether that's two guys or your best guy going to him, but you're better off leaving somebody else unblocked and making sure you get a guy on him.
It looked like the left guard was coming up to get him, but John was just able to slip and go right at the running back. Brick rolls out to the right, gets that dump-off pass, finds Shivers, and he's going to pick up the first down. Just a real nice designed play, just past the sticks.
They got us on that a couple times 2 weeks ago as well. Maybe a little bit different formation, but a guy just kind of slipping out to the flat. And a little bit hard for your Sam backer to get all the way out there to the flat on that play.
It was Shivers last time quite a few times as well.
Yep.
He's really efficient on that route, just gets to the sticks and does what he needs to do. Kingery wide left this time.
A lot of space over here with him.
And high snap a little bit, gets the handoff to Edgington. He's going to get tackled for a loss. I think that was House in the backfield.
That's what I saw, was House making that initial play in the backfield.
That mistimed snap obviously was a big problem there as they were trying to get set up and just not quite able to.
Yeah, you got to think with the amount of space that we were giving Kingery there that maybe they'll think about maybe just even a quick throw out to him or some type of tunnel rocket screen to him.
Kingery near side on the left now, trips right. Shivers coming in motion. Now Kingery and Shivers wide left. Twins right. Shivers now going back it a little bit. A lot of movement from the Indians to start with. And high pass out there to Kingery, and he's got the sideline. And Hayworth's going to knock him out of bounds, but it looks like he's got enough for the first down out at the 42. Going to be a gain of 15, and that's exactly what you were talking about. Just get the ball out to him in space.
We saw that throw out of Brick the last time we played him, and I don't think people really get how hard a throw that is. I mean, that is the timing throw. It's a really long throw. Batney right there definitely had timed up the snap count. I think Brick might want to think about going on two or going on a first sound because he's going to meet Batney here pretty soon.
Mankey in the backfield this time as a fullback. Edgington trying to get up the middle. It's going to fall forward for about a gain of a yard.
Well, the other thing,
Indianola's got a player down.
Yeah, looks like they got a lineman down, 66, I think.
That's going to be Matt Kilgore. I believe that's the right guard.
The other thing that running the ball here for Indianola does is it does run the clock a little bit and prevents us from possessing the football. You're trying to shorten the game a little bit, knowing that we can score a lot of points. You're maybe taking away a possession or two if you can have some success running the football. Did you watch the replay of that? Did you see what happened?
It looked like just another lineman kind of rolled up on him.
A knee?
Yeah. He's just in the middle of that pile. So he's left guard there. And just I think that left tackle was blocking down and just kind of rolled over.
Oh, he pulls on the play, yep. Hopefully nothing serious here. He's thinking about getting up.
Kilgore, a junior starter for the Indians, so definitely would be a loss if he's out for a little bit, and he's not putting much weight on that. Oh, he's thinking about it.
He's getting there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more of the shock than anything.
You got to test it out and see what you can do with it. And
your knee or ankle gets put in a awkward position.
So the gain of the yard on the play as he moves towards the sidelines. It's 2nd and 9. And 78 is the man in now. That's Lathan McDaniel, a sophomore. Pretty decent-sized young man, too, listed at 267. Indians got trips right. Flaherty, the tight end, on the left.
Run the clock. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. All right.
Flaherty going to split out left now.
Somebody's got to go guard him.
Yep. And he's looking that way the whole way, and he's got a step. And just drops the ball.
He was thinking touchdown instead of catching the football, and he had it too. Right there, that was pretty good job out of Indianola, lining him up at tight end, and we probably personneled him that way, and then ended up with Andrew Keith, who hasn't played a ton of coverage this year.
Right.
Put him in a spot he wasn't used to.
And you can see he thought Caleb Moore would have been stepping out on that.
Yep.
So there was a little bit of communication from the start.
And either way, Caleb hasn't had to defend too many fade routes.
Right. So 3rd and 9, Kingery on the high side. Now you're shifting trips right to the high side with Kingery. Shivers alone on the near side, and Brick's looking that way the whole time and has an out pattern. And Shivers makes a good catch and is taken out of bounds at the 18-yard line.
And that's the one thing Kingery does for you. He's nowhere near the ball, but you put a lot of your defenders on his side, and so against that trips formation on the backside, you get one-on-one, and it's tough to defend that much space when the receiver knows the route and you don't.
Right.
And the quarterback throws a really good ball.
He does. Now bunch receivers to each side. Twins. That was a shifty motion, but nothing there. Edgington tries to run up the middle. Nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Definitely looked awkward.
Yeah.
Like, should I be going in motion or not? And didn't really, you did go across and pick a guy up, I guess.
Quentin Fulton going to be the guy with the tackle.
So we've kind of tightened the grip here a little bit on the run game the last three or four runs.
Indians have it, 2nd and 10.
One thing we haven't seen is a little pressure on the quarterback, though, the last couple throws. He's had a clean pocket.
So Wilmot's in the game now to the left. He's kind of a tight end that they use in the red zone, as he's got a lot of height, and makes the catch over the middle, bounces off the hip from Cram, and it gets tackled at the 3-yard line. Really good catch to secure the ball by Charlie Wilmot. Withstands the blow and rolls forward.
Great catch, and I don't think he saw Titus coming either. And spun off of him and got another 3 or 4 yards. So right now, this is a heck of a drive here out of the Indians, starting at their own 20.
You got Kingery to the high side, man on with Falsgraf. This might be where you'd look for a jump ball, but Charlie Wilmot's got a height advantage on the near side as well. They go Edgington up the middle and gets a yard on the play, but falls into a pile.
Yeah, I don't think Kingery is really your option there because they are going to double team him. I think if you're looking to throw it the fade route, probably going to go down to the bottom like you're saying.
Right. I mean, Wilmot's 6'4".
Yep.
Tyson's not.
No, he's probably 5'9",
5'10", I think is what he's listed at. Yeah. And
yeah,
so
I think they might look at that again here and go, okay, that might be our better bet.
And the Indians are going to take a timeout. That'll be the first timeout for them. 6:45 remaining in the first half.
They've also they've taken a lot of time off the clock here. A lot of runs, maybe some that weren't super effective, but ran the clock, and not a ton of incomplete passes either on this drive.
No, it's very efficient. I think Brick might only have one incomplete pass at all, and so he's been really efficient finding the open receivers, and receivers other than that one drop, I think it's been all complete.
Yeah, it definitely was not on him because that was a great throw. We did see last week that Norwalk was inside the 5 twice and didn't score.
One of them was essentially an 8-play drive from inside the 5 that they didn't score on.
So definitely pretty good goal line D. I think Indians got to know that running the football is going to be challenging.
Yeah.
And so I would definitely think that that fade route is probably going to be in at least one of the next 2 play calls.
You might even look to roll him out towards that, and that way if you do get the double team coverage on him,
maybe he can
run it in.
Yep.
I mean, he's shown he's a decent athlete as well. So you got both tall receivers split to opposite sides. You got a fullback in front of Edgington. Brick looks to hand it off up the middle, and I think he's got it.
Yeah,
he does. That's going to be a touchdown for Edgington. So Indianola strikes first on a long drive.
That was something that Norwalk could not do last week, was finish a drive like that, and surprised me a little bit. They were able to create just enough of a seam for him to get through, and he is a tough runner. He doesn't go down with first contact. So Indians strike first.
41, Aiden Keller in to kick. Snap down, ball up, and it's good.
PAT is up and good by number 41, Aiden Keller.
So with 6:42 remaining in the second, Indianola 7, Bluejays 0.
It's a good drive there out of the Indians. I think Blue Jays probably going to look back on their first 2 drives and kind of regret not finishing those. They
Sure.
definitely had opportunities to put both in, and then we just had a couple negative plays that put us in a bad position that we end up having to go for 4th and 14, 15.
Yep.
I would expect us to come out here and answer the bell and put a good drive together and tie this thing up.
Yeah, which is definitely going to be important because the Blue Jays got the ball first, so Indianola have it coming out of halftime. Not coming onto the field to kick, though, very efficiently.
Well, the clock hasn't started yet, so they're taking their time. And we haven't had the chance to see them do a kickoff return yet.
True.
See if they're going to try to return it.
So Keller out there for the kickoff again. Talon Hayworth, the deep man. Barkma and Cram in front of him. Make sure that kick gets by the front line. Keller boots it deep. Hayworth going to come up, makes the catch at about the 12, has a lane, and that closes quickly, and he's tackled at the 30. Still a decent starting position for the Blue Jays.
Looks like Eli Fox was the guy in on the tackle. Nice tackle out of him.
Fox was the guguy we saw.
He had a nice
make some
catch
big
and
plays,
run.
yeah.
They ran a little slip screen to him, and he, I don't know, 20, 25 yard catch and run the last time we played.
1st and 10 from the 30.
So at the 30, well, 31 actually. Give him a little bit further progress. So Falsgraf going wide left. 2 fullbacks to the right with Powers and Vanderlinden. Cram, the man in the backfield. Collison takes the snap, hands off up the middle, and nowhere to go. Cram trying to bounce outside, but there's nowhere to go. Great stop by the defensive line there.
Yeah, and his second effort ended up costing him a little bit because I think his forward progress was about to the line of scrimmage, and then he spun backwards and lost another yard or two. So once again, we're not seeing a ton of success up the middle.
2nd and 11, Blue Jays.
Might see us start to spread it out and throw it a little bit more maybe if we're not going to have as much success in the run game.
Falsgraf being pressed to the left, 2 fullbacks to the right. Handoff
There
coming wide left with a pulling tackle.
Oh, ball's out, and that's Indianola's ball.
Fumble on the play. Indians recover it.
Well, you talked about wanting to make sure we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, and that's kind of been the story of the first half between penalties and sacks and now a fumble.
Give credit here to Indianola, though. They initial play, stop behind the line of scrimmage, and then force this fumble and get the recovery in great field position. Kind of got the Jays back against the wall here a little bit.
Defense needs to make a stand here. Trips right. Now 2 guys shifting in motion. That's Kingery and Shivers coming left side. Brick takes the snap, looks to get the screen out to Shivers right away. And Caleb Moore going to come in, wrap up low. Hayward secures up top, and it's going to be a gain of about 5 on the play.
Looked like the Jays really thought we had a turnover there. Watch the replay here.
Pass is complete.
No, well, he was close to losing that. I kind of expected Indianola to run that play a little bit sooner, the amount of space that the Jays are giving them. And that's really just an extended handoff there for Brick, the way he throws it.
2nd and 4 for the Indians.
Kingery and Hale near side with Flaherty. Shivers alone to the high side with Falsgraf on him. Now Hale in motion. Edgington up the middle. It's going to be close to the first down marker as he kind of leaps over the line.
Looks like he's got it.
On the carry, number 36, Matthew Edgington.
So the first down at the 28 or 23-yard line. I'm sorry.
So they're utilizing that guy in motion to kick out our defensive end, which is a nice little concept. Give them an extra blocker in the run game.
Trips to the right. Kingery, Hale, and Shivers. Brick takes the snap, looking that way the whole time. Gets the ball just over Batney's hands. Shivers makes the catch, and Cram's going to bring him down after a big gain. brought down at the 4-yard line, gain of 19.
Game of interest there because Batney just about gets his paw on that. And then great run out of Shivers and good blocking downfield out of Indianola. Could have had him for a short gain, but really good run out of him.
It just feels like one of these Batney's going to get, but so far Brick has been so precise that he gets it right over the top. Brick takes the snap, handoff to Edgington up the middle. Line gets him, but he drives forward for a couple yards, maybe a yard.
Yeah, Batney is just flying off that edge to make that play. I got to think at one point in time here, maybe Brick's going to pull that and boot out if Batney's going to continue to play that hard down the line of scrimmage. Because ultimately he is our edge player on that side.
Right. Now both tall receivers coming near side. That's Wilmot and Kingery. Kingery man in motion.
Single coverage slant maybe over here.
Edgington up the middle again, and he's through for a touchdown. Just a real hard run there by Edgington. Hits the hole and punches it in. His second touchdown of the game.
Well, I talked about at the beginning that Indianola was going to have to find a way to run the football, and they maybe haven't been super flashy, but they have definitely been effective running the clock and gaining yards. This is probably not what we expected.
No, very much not. Keller's kick is up, and it's good. And Indianola takes a 14-0 lead.
Well, like you mentioned, they get the ball in the second half, so we are going to have to see something here out of the Blue Jays, a little bit of fire.
Yep.
Give themselves a chance to get back in this thing.
We really haven't seen too many pass attempts from the Blue Jays. I think Colby's 4 or 5, but was also sacked twice because they've been getting some pressure. And that was one of the things we talked about is we were really balanced the first time we played them. And so, unfortunately, right now, to get balanced, you have to kind of focus on the pass. And
I would assume with 3.5 to go here, we are probably going to see a little bit more of that 3-4 wide stuff. Throw it down the field a little bit, maybe some of that screen game that's been pretty effective.
Yeah.
I think right now we just got to go get that first down. Like that's the big thing, just to kind of get a little momentum going in our direction. However we got to do it, just get that first down. You still got 3 timeouts, plenty of time. We've shown that we can strike very quickly.
Nice kick return here would do something to start with.
That would definitely help.
The kickoff so far, Hayworth has caught him around the 10 to 12-yard line. Keller looking to kick again. Sends it back. Hayworth going to catch it at the 10 again. And looking for a lane. Sees a little cutback. Rolls forward and is going to get brought down at the 36.
So pretty consistent on the returns between that 30 and 35-ish yard line. Good field position here. Plenty of time. Got to get something going here, though.
Yeah, this is a big drive here. 3:26 remaining in the half. See what the Blue Jays come out with. Falscraft looks like he's going to split to the right. Barkema and Ryle to the left. Now Cram going to join Falscraft on the right. Caleb Moore, the man in the backfield.
Counter, fake,
counter.
Okay.
Throwing deep. Falscraft with the catch, and he's down at the 36, 37-yard line. So there you go, nice starter there.
Yeah, I wasn't for sure if that ball was going to get there or not.
It came out a little funny.
Yep, it wasn't as clean as it normally is.
But Falscraft's able to make the adjustment. He did a good job coming all the way across the middle of the field to the far side.
He's kind of showing you just got to get it in his catch radius, and he'll haul it in.
And he's got a pretty large radius there. He's got some length to him. Ryle and Barkman to the right. Cram and Falscraft to the left. Moore in front of Collison this time. Play action. Dump off to Caleb Moore. Getting outside. No flags on the play. He's punching forward, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds at the 6-yard line. So that's a way to make up ground in a hurry.
Yep, went back to that kind of quick screen there to Caleb. fake that jet motion with Titus, and it's really kind of like an H-back screen.
Yep. A little shovel pass there. Now, do you try to slow this down with with 2:48 remaining?
I don't think so. I think you go do your thing and go score. It's not like Indianola has just been
marching down the field.
Chunk plays down the field. It's been very methodical. You just got to make sure you get a touchdown.
Yep. So that was a Blue Jay timeout, their first of the half.
Well, like we talked about, we mentioned maybe throw screen game. They did. That was a big play, and they went play action. A play that I don't know if they've shown the play action off of that counter play yet or not. Maybe once.
I don't remember it.
So that was a nice little counter to that play as well.
That really took advantage too, because the Indians had been really putting a lot of pressure trying to get to Colby, and they utilized that by just dropping it right back up the middle where they just left.
You saw that on that H screen to Moore. Yeah. They were coming, so it was really a perfect call for what they ran.
Because if he was looking for a deeper pattern, he wasn't gonna have time for that.
Those guys were going to get there in a hurry.
So we're gonna have 1st and goal at the 6. And not sure what package we're bringing out yet. See Vanderlinden and Morin.
Could possibly see some Wildcat, but doesn't look like it.
This has been a formation where an area where we've went to Falsgraf a lot, but they look like they have double coverage on that. And Caleb Moore tries to get the outside and slips. I hope that he gets back up, because that looked a little awkward.
Probably thought they were going to catch him off guard with Titus running one direction and getting a lot of the defenders going that way, but did not work out that way and ends up losing a yard or two. Well, maybe they don't intentionally slow it down, but
they're doing it anyway.
Yeah, they're going to definitely run another 30, 40 seconds off the clock here.
Yeah. So as far as that Falsgraf comeback here, it looks like we have a second guy kind of sliding over that way.
Yeah, and you're not going to get that on the inside where he's lining up.
Yep. Pitch out to Cram. Cram trying to get to the edge. And great drop. Hanging on to the ankle, though, there is Josh Ehlers.
In both games that we've played them, they have really done a nice job, whoever their edge player is, of keeping that outside shoulder free. In this case, it was number 2, Josh Ehlers, and just not letting him get to the corner.
And they've really, you can see every time they go to tackle Titus, their first guy there, he's wrapping up ankles.
Yep. You just got to hold on.
Waiting for somebody to clean up.
Because he doesn't go down with one guy very often.
Right. Carlson looking towards Falsgraf, and now he's going to look to run, nowhere to go, and that's going to be kind of a coverage sack, essentially.
Well, you talked about not kicking field goals, and you're in a sticky spot here because you're down 2 scores, and I'm not sure a field goal does you a ton.
But it looks like that's what we're going to do.
I think maybe just to get some points on the board here.
Bluejays have it.
But like some of the other 4th downs, 4th and 11, pretty low percentage.
Yeah. Jace is in there to kick.
Maybe they got a fake field goal call here. Indianola's got everybody up there. They don't rush.
Kick is low, and it's blocked.
Oh, my gosh, that's live. That's live.
And they're going to – Josh Ehlers is going to take this one. Ooh, Conrad's going to not quite get there. Josh Ehlers takes the block kick all the way to the house for a 89-yard return.
That is quite the turn of events. What could have been a 14-7 game, even 14-3. I think sometimes people forget that ball is live,
yep.
And you got to be ready.
So on an extra point, that's a dead ball.
In high school, anything that's a 2-point conversion is it's kind of weird. I don't know why they have that rule, but it's blown dead.
But not a field goal.
Nope.
Ooh. That's a real tough spot here for the Blue Jays now. 32 seconds remaining. Keller in to kick. Snap down, kick up is good, and the Indians take a 21-0 lead.
Well, we got tough hill to climb here now.
Yeah, very much. So, looks like late penalty. Extra point's good. Dead ball. Personal foul on the Blue Jays.
Well, tell you what, that's going to move that kick up, and
onside?
I'm onside kicking it.
Yeah?
Right?
Because
you got a ton of momentum, and, you could kick this thing through the end zone and just say, hey, we're going up.
Sure.
21-0 at halftime, but, man, if you somehow got another score, that would be a
right now, you're talking about high school kids, right? They're probably not in a great headspace.
Nope.
So this is where you try that onside.
Nope, and Indianola is on top of the world. You're kicking off from the 45-yard line. They're going to get the ball where they've been getting the ball on when we kick it off anyway.
Right.
So, yeah, I definitely think it's worth it. Or even kick that one, the onside where you kick it as hard as you possibly can off the guy in the front row.
Right. Yeah, so real rough turn of events here. Cram going to go back deep.
Looks like the Jays might be thinking the same thing I am.
Well, the incentive to kick it deep just isn't really there.
No. No, I think so. Maybe if you don't onside, if they're going to line up like this, you might just want to try to kick it over the heads of that second row of guys, kind of let it land. I'm definitely not going to kick it to Titus.
No. Of course, then you risk kicking it out of bounds, which
yeah, you can kind of live with that.
Puts you at the 35, but
same spot they've been getting the ball.
Yep. Well, it's going to be a interesting halftime for both teams. Indianola going to just try to tell them to, hey, stay high and let's keep going. And Blue Jays have some realities to deal with. They're going to kick it deep just out of the end zone and say, no, thank you. We'll give it to you 32 seconds.
And nothing wrong with that. Safe thing to do.
Yep.
If you're Indianola right now, you don't want to give up anything big. And if you're Bondurant, you want to try to score, but at the same time, you don't want to get in a hurry and rush and make some type of big mistake here that would allow Indianola to get another one.
Right. Yeah, you're really looking for one of your more fundamental passes probably and just try to hit read across the middle or something like that. And
it looks like we're going to maybe run the football here, maybe play action, but
Barkham, other man in motion to the near side. Handoff Cram up the middle and bouncing a little bit. It's going to be brought down near the first down marker. Forward progress looks like it's going to give him 8 yards.
It looks like we're going to roll the halftime.
All right. Well, not the first half you were looking for
as
a Blue Jay, but definitely something that, adjustments can be made.
I was expecting 14-7, 14-14 game, similar to what we had last time. So this is definitely a surprise. That field goal at the end of the half is a real killer because that was at least a 10-point swing, if not 14.
Yep. Well,
if we don't, if we line up and go for it. So,
we've been racking up yardage because we've turned it over, at the 21, at the 30. And then got all the way down to the 7 on that one that resulted in the fumble. So we can move the ball, but, converting the touchdown hasn't been there. So
got to be able to finish the drive.
All right, we'll step away for halftime, and we'll come back here in about 15 minutes.
That was weird, bro. Like, he's just been following. I've had this on for 2 minutes, and he already been following me. Well, this could be fun. I actually hate this. I'm the same guy.
Yeah, you're the same guy. But
Just everything you say is recorded. Let's get a close-up on those legs. Oh, my God. I hope I seem like I'm a nice guy. I'm a good guy, I think.
What's it like to have your teammates actually talk to you and want to be engaged?
It's crazy, man.
It's the first time I've talked to you this week.
Get drink before 2-minute out.
John doesn't do that in real life.
Hey, did you get that ointment for that fungus?
He gets cooked every day. That's like 3 days in a row. Titus is really good at football, but he is horrible at music.
Moore only does his mental reps when the camera's on.
I did him yesterday. I'm not talking to you, bro. You're going to say some foul stuff. You're not going to be able to keep very much of this. He's all wet, too. I don't even know why he's wet. He's been watching football the whole day. She's a 10, but she has a size 15 feet.
Ooh, gotta be like a 3.
A 3 over feet. Episode 1 of Mic'd Up More. How many likes should we do for a part 2? Let's do like 100 likes. No, that's too many. People might not like it. 50 likes for a part 2.
Going in like my first name is Holiday. Begging to lose, I already gave it all away. To the Father pray. You see that money got a mean fade away. Leave you with pennies and a heart away. My motto stay on that in Michael J. Me and my dad finna ride on some model way. The power of the gospel, many without a day. They come alive.
When you go home, you'll feel good about what you did, and you're doing it for the kids. If they don't have us, they don't have these games.
I love doing it. We go to all the state events. We work at all the state events. And, you wear your polo and people stop and talk to you. And it's just really great to connect with kids from other schools who are on the board, and then coaches, athletic directors who will see you at the events will stop and talk to you, and it's really neat.
You feel a bit of a weight and you're a voice for all athletes in the state of Iowa. It's cool.
I think it's really cool. I remember reading the email and I'm like, oh, this would be something really cool to look for. It'd be good to talk to people that I want to get to talk to around the state. I get to see other people's opinions, kids from 5A schools, kids from small schools. I think it'll just be a really good opportunity for me. IHSAA represents so much that it's really cool that they have 2 girls on the board to bring a girl's perspective, because I think it's really important to be very diverse and get different opinions.
Welcome back, Blue Jay fans, to the almost second half of this playoff game between the Bondurant Ferrara Blue Jays and the Indianola Indians. Blue Jays coming out a half in a tough spot, down 21-0. Late turnover, block kick, return for a touchdown. Big impact there. Few stats for see how the game was going. For Indianola, Bennett Brick is 8 of 9, 104 yards. Matthew Edgington, 13 carries for 22 yards, but 2 touchdowns.
Feels like it's more than 22.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of zero gain ones there, but the 2 touchdowns obviously are big. Leading the team for receiving, Will Shivers with 4 catches for 52 yards. Drew Kingery, 2 catches, 22 yards. Johnsy Hale with the catch for 15, and Charlie Wilmot with the catch for 15. Numbers are actually quite similar in most categories for the Blue Jays. Colby Collison, 6 of 7 for 106 yards. Titus Cram, 11 carries, 28 yards. Leading the receiving for the Blue Jays is, I left out Reed Falsgraf, 1 carry, 46 yards. That was a big play.
Yep.
I so far down my stat sheet because I didn't expect Reed to run the ball. Receiving-wise today, Caleb Moore has been the leading receiver with 3 catches for 44 yards. Reed Falsgraf, 1 catch, 28 yards. Tyson Barkema, 1 catch, 21 yards. And Jordan Rao, 1 catch for 13. Blue Jays do have 1 fumble and 1 blocked kick as they come out here to kick off. Squib kick, and Indianola is going to take it down at the 24.
Same philosophy. So I think the biggest difference, you mentioned a lot of these stats are pretty similar. The biggest difference is that returned missed field goal and the fumble that we had. We also dropped a touchdown pass in the end zone. So those are kind of the killers we talked about, not getting in our own way, and we've done a pretty good job of that so far in the first half, and credit to Indianola for really coming out with a good game plan so far.
Coming out trips left.
Here's
Flaherty going to split to the right now.
See if they throw it to him again.
Now another man in motion, Kingery.
Nope,
they're saying
that should be on Batney, I would assume.
Blue Jays are pointing at the left tackle. 2 guys were, but we'll see. Batney definitely made contact, not that it matters, because once you enter the neutral zone in high school, it's an offsides. They're discussing.
Hit your replay. Yep. There's no doubt about that one.
Yeah.
Crowd doesn't like it, but they don't enjoy replay like we do.
Or at least we assume most of them aren't watching replay. So 1st and 5. Same formation. Flaherty going to split out to the right. Kingery coming in motion now, opposite side. Almost jumped off sides again. They dropped the flag. There's going to be a hold there. He's brought down in the backfield, but if it was an offsides, it should have been a dead ball, right?
They would blow it dead right away. We're going to get some type of hold or block in the back. Could be a formation penalty.
So legitimately, both of these could be against the Indians.
I would assume both of them are. They must have really liked that
illegal
shift. Yep.
Against the Indians. Yep. Declined. And then hold in the backfield is going to be accepted, and that's a spot foul.
That could be pretty deep.
That's going to overcome the penalty that the Blue Jays had and take it back another 10.
Well, I like that they're trying to get the ball to Kingery, but maybe that isn't the best way. I do like the look they have when they widen out Flaherty.
Yeah.
That's a one-on-one matchup with a guy that doesn't play a lot of coverage.
Yeah, I mean, Flaherty's got some catches on the year. You know, it's not a top receiver as far as attempts, but Edgington going to take the carry up the middle, and he's brought down in the backfield. That's Dalton House with the tackle while getting tackled in the backfield.
Yeah, he does a nice job of shooting the gap here. And Johnson just wasn't able to seal him down.
So a good start so far for the Blue Jays, sending them back to 2nd and 23.
Kind of looks like Blue Jays' first drive.
Right. Big shift over to the left side for the Indians. Kingery alone on the near side. And they're going high side. Gets the ball to Shivers. Shivers looking to cut up field. Ryle wraps up the legs. Powers comes up and secures the tackle at the 20. Going to be a gain of 8 on the play.
I would assume that they would run that play a little bit more. Just the amount of space that they were giving them. Pretty easy throw and catch, 8 to 10 yards. We saw that Shivers had a really nice play on that earlier in the game as well. That got him inside the 5-yard line.
So 3rd and 15 now. Trips left coming. It was trips right, but I anticipated the shift apparently. Looking left the whole side. Batney skies. Kingery's wide open. And
there's the stiff arm out of him.
Cram going to bring him down at the 23-yard line, but that's going to be a gain of 57.
Normally he's the outside wide receiver, and when they do the trade from trips right to trips left, he becomes the inside receiver. And coming from the inside, he's able to run that wheel route, which if you don't know what that is, basically you're going to run it out and then up the sideline, and that was pretty open.
Good job by Cram chasing him down to prevent the tackle at that point, because Kingery doesn't get brought down by one guy very often either.
No, I've seen him deliver quite a few stiff arms on those plays as well.
Twins left, handoff to Edgington up the middle. Quentin Fulton in on the tackle. I think Dalton House there to help clean up.
Well, they're not getting any yards up the middle, but they're not quitting. They're going to keep trying.
Well, I mean, a big 57-yard reception changes that, because up until that point, every play had kind of gone our way. And that was just a really great play call.
But like we said earlier, it does run clock, and right now clock doesn't matter a ton, but
but every minute does. I mean, as it gets closer.
It's going to get there.
Kingery coming wide right. Barkema follows him over the middle, and Shivers is going to take that in for a touchdown.
Indianola takes advantage of basically, again, that one-on-one coverage. You rotate everybody over to that side of the field that Kingery's on, and you leave your guy on an island, and that's tough to defend. And we've seen Shivers as a good wide receiver.
Yep. Just a real nice slant pattern. Brick hits him in stride, and no reason for him to slow down on his way to the end zone.
So not the start the Jays are looking for here.
Keller coming in for the extra point. Kick up and good.
PAT is up and good.
So it takes the Indians about 3 minutes to score. Definitely going to see what our kids are made of now.
Yeah.
Down 28-0. How do you react to this?
You got to keep it small. I mean, you can't overreact. You got to go one drive at a time. And
like we said, you got to get points on the board. You got to go score just to kind of get some momentum back. Some updates, I guess.
Yeah.
With who we would play in the next game, or whoever wins this game. You got Xavier versus Washington, and Xavier's up 16-7. Other district teams is Carlisle. They were up 27-7 at half against Newton. I think one surprising score is that Liberty-Webster City game was 7-7. I think you saw some stats on that. It looked like a lot of yardage, but not very many points.
Yeah, Webster City kind of they run that spinner back option, and so they really just a little bit different look than what you're used to seeing.
Bob Howard from Sigourney Kyoto going up there and has ran that forever and a ton of success.
The old Savages. Right?
Yep. The Savage Cobras, maybe.
Savage Cobras, there you go.
Sigourney itself, I think, were the Savages, maybe.
Okay. Hayworth has a path up the middle, brought down again right about the 35-yard line.
Yep, very consistent, and that's a great starting point, because one of these times he's going to have a shot at breaking one, and right here was close. He was about one guy away from really having a big one.
Picking up for the Indians, 41, Aiden Keller. On the return.
So again, moving the ball hasn't been the major key, as that tackle was Cale Meacham, by the way. Finishing the drive has been the issue.
Yep.
Falsgraf and Barkema to the right. Barkema, the man in motion. Caleb Moore, the fullback. Titus Cram, the tailback. Falsgraf looking downfield and nowhere to go. Pressure gets to him, and that is 52. That's going to be Wyatt DeWitt with the sack.
We're trying to hit Falsgraf down the sideline, but Indianola tonight has really done a nice job of shading that safety over the top. taking away the fade, which allows that corner to defend the fade stop, which he has been super effective all year, and neither one was going to be open there.
And DeWitt was able to just work around the end, make a move on the tight end, and get to the quarterback. Cram trying to turn upfield. DeWitt's there again, and Indianola's shutting that play down for no gain as well. Ooh.
Yeah, right now they have all the momentum, they got all the energy, and our guys, somebody's going to have to come out here and make a play just to kind of light a little spark, light a little fire to get us going.
I mean, the one thing the Blue Jays really haven't been this year is down by any amount of points. I mean, they lost to Carlisle by giving up 3 straight scores because they had a 2-touchdown lead before that. So
I don't think we were down to anybody else, were we?
Not by much if we were. We might have been behind DCG. It was a weird game. Collison throws it up to Falsgraf. Falsgraf makes the catch at the 49-yard line. Gain of 24 on the play.
That's a really nice throw out of him. Rolling to his left, never easy for a righty, and really has to put that thing in a tight window. And Falsey does what he does and goes up and makes a great catch.
He does a real good job of keeping that defender on his back, just like a box out, and goes up and gets the rebound. And it's been a real good strategy for him over the last couple weeks. And we haven't seen too many attempts at it so far today, but it's probably that time.
Well, we got that first down. We got an illegal formation right now. Tight end's maybe on the line.
They don't seem to flag it. Cram shifting up the middle. It's going to gain 3 on the play.
The tight end moved up, so we were good.
Ish.
Yeah, it was questionable. It's kind of a flying V.
Ball carries number 6.
Which was Ryle. He normally is not a tight end.
No, right. That's might be the first time he's put his hand on the ground on offense.
Maybe in his life.
You see him more often as a quarterback, guy with the ball. And
we got that first down, so now we got some momentum. We just got to keep it going here.
Falsgraf and Cram to the left. Barkham, a man in motion. Fake jet sweep. Collison looking downfield. Nowhere to go again. Ray Liventals gets the sack. Just not able to get the ball downfield as fast as we need to.
It looked like Vanderlyn kind of got leg whipped here, rolled up on as Liventhal was making that sack. Looks like he's gonna kind of limp off. So behind the sticks here again, 3rd and 12. Going to have to find a way to get the ball down the field. Maybe go back to that corner route to Titus.
Yeah.
They seem to be giving a lot of attention to Falsgraf.
Maybe look for that slip screen to more in the middle. Falsgraf might be offsides on the lineup, but they didn't.
Wheel route to Titus.
There's Falsgraf coming through the middle. Going to pick up the first down on a gain of 17.
Looks like Indianola's maybe got a player down. 43. Harding got up there, so he's okay.
Safety, yeah. We don't see Falsgraf on that crossing play all that much. It was a little bit of a different.
No, I think that play design is probably looking for Titus running the wheel route, but they did a nice job of covering it up, and so go to the second option there with Falsgraf running that slant.
Cram coming back up the middle. Rolling through. He's going to be near the first down marker. Whole lot of contact there, and they just kind of let people tee off as it's that catch-22 of, well, you don't want to blow the whistle dead because he's still moving.
And he doesn't go down either, so you hate to blow it dead when he maybe has a shot at breaking away.
Gain of 9. Going to bring up 2nd and 1. Blue Jays getting into that territory where they've kind of struggled so far today on completing these drives, and this is where you really need to change that tide right now. Carlson hands it to Cram. Cram bounces to the outside, bounces again, and he's going to fall forward across the first down marker for a gain of 4.
Great tackle there out of Wilmot again. We see him. He does a great job of getting around his legs and not letting go.
I mean, really, their whole team has tonight. They've secured the ankles and not let him get away, and the teammates flow to the ball really well.
Which probably what you really teach to dive at ankles. But
Right.
when you're taking him on, sometimes it's better to take him on the side and get him low than try to take Titus up high.
Now Cram trying to bounce to the left side, trying to get to the edge. Dewey gets the stiff arm again, and he's going to be out of bounds. Going to call him out of bounds at the 15, so that'll be a gain of 8.
Yeah, Dewey was a recipient of another one of those stiff arms, but did force him to the sideline, didn't give up the edge.
And then Hartung was able to step up there and wrap up and drive towards the sidelines. 2nd and 2 now. Ball on the 15. Powers the fullback in front of Cram. Barkema and Keith shift, as well as Powers. Play action. And Collison's looking to Falsgraf on the other side. Falsgraf goes up, and he makes the catch for a Blue Jay touchdown. Colby Collison to Reed Falsgraf for 15 yards.
Really didn't think he was going to be able to haul that one in, but that's another just great play at going up and getting it and making a play. It looked like Dewey was kind of running underneath it, and Wilmot was over the top, but neither one of them were able to get their hands on it.
And really getting it past Wilmot's a challenge because he's got the height and not Hartung, but was in good position. Falsgraf kick up and is good.
Falsgraf's PAT is up and good.
I kind of wonder why we didn't use him to kick the field goal.
It's easy to second guess, but I know you want to try to get some guys breaks, but there's also something about a playoff, and if you're expecting guys to play both ways all the time,
I just didn't know if there
now
was,
might be the time to.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was a specific reason. We haven't seen Robinson kick a ton. We've seen him kick, but we haven't seen him kick a ton.
We've seen him on a few kickoffs as well, and in late in the games, I'm sure he's been kicking most of the JV extra points. But so 3:52 in the third.
We did what we needed to do there on that drive and go down and score. It wasn't a ton of time, so still give ourselves a pretty good chance here. I know that we've given up some points. Some of them were kind of fluke points tonight. You still got to rely on this defense that's really good. Kick the ball down the field. We know that they're maybe not going to try to return it. Try to get that 3 and out and get your offense back on the field as soon as possible.
I mean, I guess technically what you want is you want a dribbler through the middle that rolls back to about the 10 because apparently they don't return kicks.
And if you're able to get that next score, then you kind of start to get them a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
And with the 3-score lead, they might be a little complacent.
Yeah. Falsgraf gets the dribbler, and Wilmot's going to secure it at the 32.
I do think he's trying to find somebody in that front row.
Yeah.
He's kicking that thing as hard as he can. And
get that bounce.
Hopefully hit them, maybe hit them in the chest or the head, and have your team have a shot at recovering it. But, yeah, just interesting that they won't
return it.
Won't return it. Now, the 32-yard line, you'll take that.
Sure. All right, twin receivers each side. Hale and Kingery near side. Shivers the high receiver. Quick pass to Kingery. Wrapped up. Gain of 4. Tackle by Ryle.
Just a quick, easy throw there.
Number 88, Drew Kingery.
I think he's probably going to complete that one quite a few times. I'm guessing the Jays are probably content of giving that one up as well.
Yeah, and I mean, Kingery's a guy who's got potential to break something too. Ryle does a real good job of wrapping up the
Just
tackle.
doesn't have a lot of room on the short side of the field. You're really limited. Looks like we jump off sides again there. Going to set up a 2nd and 1-ish, maybe 2.
You had mentioned that Blue Jays have been kind of timing up the jump,
and they change it up, and
we've
got a free 10 yards here so far.
After the penalty, Indians have it 2nd and 1.
So 2nd and 1. 3:47 remaining. It was out of bounds, so the clock did stop. I guess it was a penalty, too. Kingery on the right side with Hale behind him. Shivers on the far side. Handoff to Edgington up the middle. And Powers went low.
He looked short to me.
Got cleaned up by Caleb Moore on the top side.
This is going to be about 3rd and half a yard. I don't remember if they go under center ever, but nope, man, they gave it to him.
Oh, okay.
Man, that
yeah, even they didn't think they got it, so they tried hustling to the line of scrimmage. But they gave him a little friendly half yard and said, nope, we're going to roll. So 1st and 10. Kingery and Hale to the near side again. Hale, the man in motion. Edgington up the middle, nowhere to go. Batney is going to drag him down. Vanderlinden helps out.
We don't see Brick run a ton intentionally, but I think maybe you're going to see it at one of these points, because right there I think you probably could have pulled the football. And
I don't think you're doing it right now with you got a 3-touchdown lead, but
no, but if it's a kind of a longer type of situation,
it's definitely an option there.
Yeah, because right now Batney's just playing so hard on that run give, which I don't blame him.
Right. Trips left. Kingery, the near guy, looking left the whole way. Now coming back to the right side, throws it up, but it's going to be out of bounds. Good pressure from the Blue Jay line, forcing that throw to come out a little too fast and went out of bounds.
Yeah, it looks like play's designed to go to the top side or the Indianola side, but didn't get what he wanted. And kind of nice that you can turn and just know you can throw the ball in the general direction of a wide receiver, knowing that defense probably isn't going to get it.
Although, was Kingery running a little bit of a wheel route again?
And it looked like he kind of just ran a stop route.
Okay. I just saw the end of the replay on the near side.
I think he just kind of ran a hitch and maybe didn't run it super hard, knowing that the ball was probably supposed to go to the top side.
Sure. Shivers going high. Hale in motion. 3rd and 11. Brick trying to roll out left, now trying to roll out right. Dropping way back, trying to tell his guy to get up there. And that ball's got a chance. And
yeah, we were close there to getting a pass interference as well, because
he made contact right at the end.
He kind of grabbed him as the ball was getting there. That would have been
which you absolutely don't want. Because
that would have been a rough penalty.
Yeah.
So good stop there of the Jays. We thought maybe they were going to have a 3rd and short, but ended up giving them the first down, and maybe it was actually advantageous for us.
Yeah.
Only take about a minute off the clock.
So 4th and 11. Falsgraf back to return the punt. The last punt we did not field. We let bounce, and that was kind of the case the first time we played them as well. This ball is high, kicked right at him. Falsgraf with the fair catch at the 27, and Blue Jays are going to have pretty consistent field position to start with. They've been around the 30 every time.
And I think, now we're getting down to that 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. You don't have to go fast, but I think you might have to pick in your pace a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's still the goal right now is we got to go down and score. And if it takes 5 minutes, that's fine. But you got to go down and score. If you don't score on this drive, you're really kind of putting yourself behind the eight ball.
Now, that being said, if you can be basically in scoring range when this half ends, you got a real good spot to be. Cram busting up through the middle, going to gain 6 on the play.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I think that's kind of the goal is to – I don't know if you score before the quarter's up, but you could definitely be in a position
if
where –
you're in that red zone area, you feel like you're in a real good spot.
You score with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. You still got a shot at this thing.
Falsgraf and Barkema to the left. Hand off to Cram. Trying to cut back to the right, trying to roll. Not a whole lot of room to go. Going to get about a yard.
It'll be interesting what we do here. 3rd and short. Good chance we just line up and run it. But I think play action is also looking pretty good right now. Indianola has kind of lightened their box a little bit with the situation. They were definitely in run formations, committing 8 or 9 guys to the run. And now with them being up 3 scores with basically a quarter to go, they've kind of started to change philosophy here a little bit.
Read and react a little bit, and you're okay giving up the 6 or 7 as long as it's not 40.
Yep.
Collison going to look downfield, throws it back to Falsgraf, and that ball is going to be knocked incomplete. Josh Eilers with a really good stop.
Yep, there's that comeback he's been running. He's really good at, kind of sells it. And Eilers knows he's got help over the top. so he can be ready and commit to that play. So you do go for the pass. You don't get it. It's 4th and short.
Yep.
And, I mean, obviously we got to go for it.
That's probably the first defensive play we've seen
Most
made
of the time,
on that. So
most of the time
yeah.
he's probably 3 or 4 steps open.
Yeah. So good job of scouting.
This is I think it's really, good scouting, but also a good plan.
Yeah. So 4th and 2, and they
Timeout.
called timeout. Okay. So were we just trying to get a jump, you think?
And I still get a little nervous with Colby's
head bob.
Yeah, his movement there. You get the wrong official, and he's going to call him for motion. Well, I would be surprised if we line up in that formation.
And for 4th down?
Yeah, for 4th and 1 here. Ultimately, though, this is kind of this kind of is a game a little bit if you don't get this.
Yeah.
It's, you're really in a tough spot if you don't get this.
Yeah,
but you got to go. You have to go for it.
You have to go for it. And 4th and 2, it's really that distance where you like to think you should be able to run straight ahead and get that no matter what.
Should be able to hand the ball off to Titus.
Really solid about stopping short runs. We've got half dozen or more negative runs, and so.
Well, the other bad part there about trying to draw them off, we end up using a timeout, and you're down 3 scores. You're gonna need those. So.
Right. Yeah, you almost
really
want to have a backup play versus using the timeout.
You hate to use it there. Okay, so we got potential jet motion here with Titus. Maybe that give to Caleb. Nope,
we're dropping straight back. Collison across the middle. Ryle?
I believe so.
Jordan Ryle makes the catch and comes down at the 48.
So same play that we saw earlier with Falsgraf catching it.
Yeah.
That wheel slant combo.
Quarterback number 5, Colby Collison. Number 5, Jordan Ryle.
So maybe a little not your most standard 4th and 2 call.
No. It
shows your confidence in your senior quarterback.
Big connection there.
40 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Falsgraf and Barkema split to the left. Powers and Cram in the backfield. Cram takes the handoff, tries to cut up the middle. Nowhere to go. Going to be gain of a yard. We're committed to trying that, but there's just not a lot of room.
I think we're getting close to the point where we're running out of time to try that.
Yeah.
We're gonna probably try to hustle here to get one more play in. We got 15 seconds. Should be able to get one more off.
It's gonna be 2nd and 9. Falsgraf and Barkema coming near side. Cram on the high side. Cram the man in motion. We're gonna hand it to Cram on the jet sweep up the middle. He's gonna power ahead near the 1st down. He might even have it. They're gonna mark him at the 40, so a yard short.
Got a 3rd and 1. I think we might have got lucky there. It looked like definitely like a takedown in the backfield, but we haven't really seen too many flags tonight, which is good. Yeah. They've been consistent in letting them play.
As we move to the 3rd quarter break here, another great time to thank our sponsor for tonight's broadcast, 3P Carpentry and Construction. 3P Carpentry and Construction serves Bondurant and the Des Moines area with all areas of home improvements, specializing in trim carpentry, basement finishes, remodels, and decks. With a list of happy customers and repeat customers, their work speaks for itself. 3P Carpentry and Construction with Riley Prusman is tonight's sponsor for the game. They did the stair remodel at my neighbor's house. That turned out really nice.
Nice.
We mentioned earlier they try to get back by helping out with the school construction house. The school does a home build each year with their construction trades class, and he came in and showed him some of the tricks of the trade with the finishing.
It's kind of nice because Mr. Hamas runs that program, and he's brought a few former students in to teach current students how to do some of that stuff. So that's pretty neat and a real good program. And
really a great example of showing kids, hey, these are the type of careers, futures you can look to, and maybe this class is something you can look to for a long-term future, not just a few credit hours. So.
Yep, very applicable to real life. Even if you don't go into that profession, it's good skills to have around the house. All right, well, down 28-7. We're kind of pretty close to kind of what we talked about. Let's see if we can't get a score
maybe
with the least.
Maybe not quite as close as we were hoping to be, but still in the right direction.
I think, we're at the point we're going to have to change the game plan just a little bit. Maybe spread it out and throw it a little bit more. Just because you got to get 3 scores.
Right. Got to score a little bit faster. Play action to Cram.
Wide
Throws
open.
the ball up. Barkema over the middle, and he's going to take it in for a Blue Jay touchdown. Colby Collison to Tyson Barkema, 40 yards.
Well, we've seen really good coverage out of Indianola all night, and that one I think was just kind of a blown coverage. They really bit hard on Titus's motion across the field, and Barkema didn't run anything special. He just ran straight down the field.
Yep, safety had came up and wasn't there for support on the slant. Much like one of Indianola's touchdowns earlier. Just a nice basic pattern. Falsgraf into kick. Kick is up, and kick is no good.
Well, that changes things a little bit, but not drastically. Just got to go get a 2-point conversion now.
Yeah. I mean, the key point is touchdowns. The little things maybe make a difference as we come here, but yeah. 11:52, so maybe I commented we weren't quite as close as we needed to be, but maybe we were exactly the distance we needed to be.
We've shown we can strike from anywhere. I think the key now is
if you can keep them to another 1-minute drive.
Keep relying on that defense and get them in a position where they get no or 1 first down and have to punt, and then you're still in this ball game. What we can't have is them getting a couple first downs and running 4 or 5 minutes off the clock. Because then also they run clock and gain field position. You really want to give yourself a short field or shortest field as possible at this juncture of the game.
Yeah, full quarter clock's an issue. It's not the only issue, but Falsgraf going to line up to kick. Again, Indianola has not been attempting to return any kicks, so they're going to try the onside, and that ball might be free.
We were definitely offsides.
And it's going to be Indianola ball at the 41.
Indians recover the onside kick.
Good effort, though.
Yeah, I don't dislike the call at all. They made contact with the kid who was trying to recover it.
Yep. Batney came in and was not necessarily trying to recover the ball, but trying to clean things up a little bit.
And had it timed pretty well on that. Yeah, there may have been an offsides. That wasn't an issue, but he definitely got to the receiver right as he was trying to catch it.
There's a reason why he got there in a hurry.
Yeah. Indianola going to split their receivers out wide again. Edgington, the man in the backfield behind Brick. Looking to pass, looking to throw to Kingery into double coverage, and Kingery does not make the catch. That was a great job by Talon Hayworth because Kingery had it in his hands.
He had it, and as he was coming down,
Talon just kind of ripped it away.
Yep, he grabbed it from him. Aggressive play call there. They don't get conservative. I like that out of Indianola. Kind of take their shot there.
I mean, that's exactly the type of matchup you wanted. Kingery, goes up and gets the ball. Just a really great play by Talon Hayworth.
Yeah, plenty of guys have given that play up this year.
Right. 2nd down and 10. Handoff to Edgington up the middle, and he breaks a tackle, cuts up inside, and he's going to be a first down.
That's a big one right there. You get him in a 2nd 10 type of situation and really want to make sure that we get a 3 and out, and Indians pick up a first down, move the sticks, and more importantly for them, going to move the clock.
Power stepped up into the hole, and Edgington was able to bounce around one of his linemen and get to the outside, and there was no help there. The 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Guessing they won't throw this one right now like they did on first down last time.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
You got to think that it's probably still going to be run game. Great run. Oh, there's
flag in the back.
There's that hole. Oh, maybe it's a face mask.
He is showing kind of that preliminary face mask sign.
Let's see here.
Okay.
And that's a big one right there. That's going to kind of force their hand here a little bit, knowing that, man, it probably can't run the football. Probably going to have to throw it. Maybe you can get a couple incomplete passes.
Although the way he's ran the last 2.
Yeah, they definitely found a little something there in the last couple plays. I think maybe you might run one of those wide receiver screens.
Yeah.
Just a pass that you know you're going to complete and the potential to get 5-10 yards.
We also saw Flaherty kind of a screen from the tight end. It was almost like a short drag across last time.
Yeah, last game they really kind of got us on some screens, but haven't really went to that tonight.
1st and 23. Man in motion is Hilton. Brick dropping over to the right side. Nobody's there. That's got to be.
If he's outside the pocket, he's okay.
Pass is incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he had rolled out quite a bit there. Maybe that's.
Yeah, I'm not for sure what they were looking for on that play.
I don't know. I don't think he was outside the pocket. On the replay, it looked like he had taken 2 steps to the right.
Yeah, I don't know if he was either.
He was outside of the hashes, but that's not the rule.
Yeah, you still got to get outside that tackle.
Shift trips left, so Falsgraf alone at the top. Handoff Edgington up the middle. Quentin Fulton stands him up. Jacob Vanderlinden there to help out. Great defensive stop there on the draw play.
On the carry, number 36.
Yeah, Quentin wasn't giving up any ground on that one. Kind of ran into a brick wall.
Yeah. I mean, he still had the guy trying to block him, and he somehow wrapped him up through that guy. So.
Well, if you're Indianola, you try to go for the first down here, or you just try to make sure that you get a play that's going to run the clock.
Yeah.
I think being 3rd and 20-ish, you're probably going to either run the ball or something quick, short pass that you think you're going to complete.
Try to pull Shivers all the way across the field maybe and see if you can bring him to the backside.
Maybe one of those screens.
Batney's getting some pressure, and there's your screen pass that you wanted. Edgington uses the official and can't use him again as he's collected by a swarm of Blue Jays, or a party of Blue Jays if you do so desire.
The funny thing was the ref actually helped John out the first time through because the guy went to block him and ran into the official. So the referee was definitely involved in that play.
Probably a lot more than he wanted to be.
Well, the Indians they run this down. They're going to end up taking about 3 minutes off, close to it.
Yeah, it's still,
that's a win, I think.
Let's get this punt into our possession, but that's a pretty solid defensive stand if you're.
You'll definitely
Blue
take
Jays.
that, get the ball with 9 minutes to go, probably around the 20, 30-yard line.
They could do a good job using up all that time. High kick, and Falsgraf is going to catch it at the 7, and he's going to try to get to the edge. Cuts back up the middle, trying to reverse field, and just gets down at the 10. Might have lost a couple yards. Might have taken a shoulder there after because he was already down. But
he hit the circle button and probably should have just went down on that one.
He should have seen that sideline and thought that was a good option. Like, I get it. You want to try to make a big play. It didn't really hurt us. It was, he might have got out to the 17.
No, and we really didn't set up for a punt return.
Nope.
1st and 10, Blue Jays.
You probably at that point might even benefited from letting it bounce, but that's a risk that maybe you don't want to take either.
No, I don't think you wanted to let that one bounce.
Collison hands off to Cram. Cram tries to bounce through the middle. He's going to gain 3 on the play.
See, as we're getting to about 8.5 minutes here, you start thinking about, okay, how quickly do we have to score? And I think you want to score obviously as quick as you can, but I think you have to probably score by. If you want to avoid doing an onside, at least 4 or 5 minutes to go in the game. You're down to 2 timeouts.
I mean, if you can get there by the 5-minute mark, you probably feel pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
We've used 1 timeout, so we've got 2 remaining. Play action. Collison looking for the pass. Has Barkema and just not quite able to get the pass there.
Yeah, that's maybe about the only throw tonight that I've seen him make that I thought he could make. He just kind of underthrew it a little bit.
Well, and the other
he just led him a little too far.
It was a kind of a late cross between Barkema and Falsgraf, so I can't quite tell if Barkema had to run through a little bit of traffic to get over.
It's a little slower developing play. You got the guy on the right side is running clear across to the left, and the left guy is running clear across to the right. So it does take some time to get across the field, and there's a lot of bodies out there.
Yeah. I mean, if Barkema is able to come through that without having to slow down for a defender, follow, and read, maybe he gets to that. But
well, it looks like Indianola gets themselves a little timeout here with the injury. It looks like he was able to get himself off the field there. Was that number
60? Was
60?
That Conlon Liventhal's.
Yep.
So Blue Jays are going to have 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. Falscraft going near side. Collison dropping back, looking left the whole way. Screen pass to Moore is read beautifully. That's going to be an incomplete pass, but a great read. I think that was Johnny Mankey on the stop, and he saw the screen the whole way.
I think this one you got to punt.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 8 minutes to go. If you don't get it, it's
the end.
It's a lot of that's a big hill to climb.
Yep.
And your defense is
doing pretty good.
You know, they've a lot of these points aren't their points tonight anyway, or some of them aren't.
Some of them definitely aren't. But Power's going to be punting from inside his own 5.
Let's see. They do have 11.
They're bringing everybody up, counting on the fake. So there's going to be no return man unless Kingery drops back in a hurry. So Power's going to
get a big roll here.
Let's get the roll.
Oh, man.
Not the bounce we wanted.
You don't usually get that on the turf.
No. If he was trying to drop it inside the 5, that was perfect because it bounced straight up, but it ends up not getting the roll you wanted. It's still a good kick. It's all the way back to the 44, change field position, but, boy, some bad luck on that one.
Yep, and this is it's a big set of downs right here.
Yeah.
The season's kind of on the line. You give up much more than 1 first down, I think it's
going to be a problem.
You're going to start running out of time.
Kingery and Shivers to the high side. Mankey and Edgington in the backfield with Brick. Brick takes a snap, tries to get to Edgington to the edge. Good blocking from the Indians, and it's going to gain 5 on the play.
Yeah, that was a nice little run play out of them, getting to the edge.
It's probably the best they've set the edge like that where.
Well, and we talked about how good Batney is at rushing the passer, and a lot of times the way you counter that is you got to run at him.
Yeah.
And right there, their right tackle did a heck of a job of really locking onto him and driving him backwards.
So gain of 5, going to bring up 2nd and 5. Kingery coming far to the left. Mankey and Edgington in the backfield again. Shivers to the high side. Handoff, Edgington up the middle. Not a lot of room. Gain of a yard, maybe yard and a half. Keeps the clock going. If you're an Indianola fan, that's a big piece to this.
Yep, and this is maybe reaching that area where I've talked about maybe Brick pulls the football.
Yeah.
Because it's 3rd and 3. Up the middle's been
it's 2 scores,
tough
not
sledding.
3 now.
Yep, and you know they're going to be selling out on that run. If the run up the middle, if he pulls it, there's a good chance that the outside will be open. I would assume Indianola is going to run this football and make sure they keep the clock running, but never know.
Right.
You go a little play action here, and it might be wide open too.
So Falscraft going to chase Kingery down to the near side. And hand off Edgington up the middle. Not a lot of room, but.
A little drive there at the end. But
I say there wasn't room, but I didn't know if he was in that pile or not on where he was coming through. Gain of a yard again, and that'll bring up 4th down and a couple yards.
I'm assuming Indianola's going to punt, but you could maybe see them come out here and try to draw us off sides.
Yeah.
At least give that a shot. And then you can even you don't need to take a timeout.
No.
Take your delay game. I would be very surprised if they go for this.
Right.
But I think they're going to try to draw us off.
Absolutely. That makes sense. And we almost got it.
And we had a little hop there.
Yeah. And now you should feel
the
really
left tackle
good.
Moved, but
and they're going to throw the flag.
That's interesting. It came from the other side of the field.
That's interesting, yeah. You would think this guy on the near side that has nobody blocking the left tackle from him.
And on our side, because our side is yelling that usually that's where you get the flag thrown.
Yeah, right. Hey, we saw it. Why didn't you? So now you're at 4th and 7. I would imagine more of a straightforward punt now. Although, maybe not. We'll drop back into punt formation. Okay.
The one thing about that penalty, though, is it does allow you to run another 25 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, which is super weird.
Yeah, that's the Patriots doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not sure why they snapped it with 9 seconds left.
No. Falsgraf going to fair catch. No, he lets it bounce, and it rolls out of bounds. So going to be out of bounds at the 18.
All right, well, definitely going to have to start airing this puppy out a little bit.
Yeah. Which might not be a bad thing. The passing game has been pretty solid.
It has. We've had some guys open. The only problem now is Indianola kind of knows it's coming, where they've really been selling out on the run.
So out of bounds at the 19. Blue Jays are going to start this possession. Cram the man in motion. Play action. Collison going to look downfield. Throws it up towards Barkema. Underthrow and intercepted. Charlie Wilmot. And there is a flag afterwards. That was after the play.
A little excessive celebration maybe.
Maybe.
Some taunting.
I say it's in line with where the offensive line was, but I don't think it's from them.
There are flags on the field.
Wilmot makes the interception, takes it back to 32-yard line. And that's that risk you get when, everybody knows you have to pass.
Yep. Let's see what we got here. Holding on the defense.
On the return?
Yep.
Yeah, on the return. Okay. So that does take him back on the field position, but there is only 5:11 remaining.
Yeah, you're getting to that point now where you almost need a turnover. You're going to have to force a fumble. Definitely going in there to make a tackle. You're trying to rip the football out.
Yeah. 1st and 10 because the play happened on the return, or the penalty happened on the return. So we'll be at the 40-yard line. And I'm not sure. Shouldn't there 25 seconds be running now?
Well, it looked like they were
placed, right?
Well, White Hat is the guy that's got to run it, and he's over there talking to Coach Kluver, so he's coming out here right now to run it.
I got to think this is probably being handed off to Edgington.
You kind of know what they're going to do.
Kingery, the man in motion, coming across the set. Hand off Edgington up the middle, has a lane, and he's going to, Falsgraf might have a shot up. He's going to take it all the way to the end zone for an Indianola touchdown from 40 yards out.
Yeah, they made a couple really nice adjustments from the first time we played them. They've utilized that motion a lot against us, knowing how we're going to move in a line, and some really good blocking there up front. Watch the replay of that, and he got a hat-on hat, and Edgington's going to –
I think they even had a double team at the point of attack.
Yeah, Edgington's going to make you pay if that's what's going to happen.
Kick is up and good.
PAT is up and good.
And that's going to give Indianola a 35-13 lead with 5 minutes to go. And that spells trouble for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, you've definitely hit the we've been in the danger zone. We're deep in the danger zone now.
Yeah. Yeah, you need some type of miracle for anything to change here, because even if you score in a hurry, you're
going to have to get an onside or two.
Yep. You do have 2 timeouts remaining, but with 5 minutes, that's not a lot. I don't know. I don't know if you kick this off deep if you're Indianola, because it's looked like we've been on the verge of maybe breaking something, but every single time we've ended up with it right around the 30 to 35 yard line.
Yeah, you could definitely see a squib or maybe even kick it over the heads of that second row of blockers.
I mean, heck, you don't even feel terrible just kicking it out of bounds and giving it to him at the 35, other than it doesn't bleed 10 seconds. But
right, you just can't give up a big play.
Yeah. I mean, the 35-yard line for a start position isn't a terrible thing if you're Indianola. Keller stepping back to kick. And he's going to chip it up. Hayworth at the 10. Gets to the 30, down at the 34-yard line. The ball came out as he hit the ground, I thought, but we'll see. And they're going to say.
Yep, they're ruling him down. All right, we'll see what the Blue Jays got here. We've kind of alluded to it. We are going to have to probably spread them out a little bit, and the play action probably isn't effective at this point. So
you might as well just have that guy block.
Yep, you're going to have to just snap it and sling it.
Yeah, more in the backfield with Collison, Ryle and Barkham to the right, Cram and Falsgraf to the left. Cram, the man in motion, play action, more coming the other way, and that play is read perfectly by Liam Kelso.
I think, nope, Colby initially got back on it, but I think one of the linemen maybe ended up with it.
Just not a lot of advantage to that play. I know he's broken it for a couple long ones, but.
Covered up by Collison on the fumble.
So 2nd and 20. Collison drops back. Now he's going to try and run it up the middle. Makes Menke miss. That's a good move. And then he's going to be down at the 31-yard line they're going to give him.
Yeah, good shifty move there. The guy he was looking for wasn't open initially and broke the pocket.
Now 3rd and 14. Collison drops back, looking left the whole way. Now gets brought down. Wyatt DeWitt again.
He's had a nice night.
He has.
He's made some big plays.
And I think that's the 6th time Colby's been sacked today.
Yeah, he hasn't been sacked that many times.
That's probably about his entire season worth of sacks, it feels like. I think he's been sacked like 9 times this season and 6 times tonight.
Again, credit to the Indians. They've done a great job game planning, covering guys up because his initial guy has not been open very often. And so he's holding the ball a little bit longer than he wants, and their front four has done a really good job of getting to the quarterback.
So it's going to bring up 4th and 20 with 3:52 remaining. Blue Jays took a timeout. So they have 1 remaining. Not a lot of great options here.
No, on 4th and 20, the defense knowing that you got
that little umbrella defense.
Yeah, you're going to see at least a too high safety look. They've kind of been too high man under a good chunk of the night, or at least when they know that when we're throwing it. So you got everybody playing man-to-man, and then you got 2 safeties basically in the middle of the field that are kind of free.
Wilmot and Hartung, your 2 safeties.
That's what it kind of looks like.
Give it 10 yards of space. Barkham are going to come in the backfield, probably be an extra blocker. Collison throwing it deep towards Falsgraf and Cram, and Falsgraf goes up, not able to get there. Good play by Josh Eilers to not let him get farther downfield.
Had good position, knowing what the play was, and definitely didn't make it easy on the Jays.
So there'll be a turnover on downs at the 25-yard line. 3:46 remaining for Indianola. Indianola, it looks like, is going to be heading on to play Xavier next Friday night. I haven't looked at a Xavier score. I'm just assuming that they continued to.
They into the third, they were up 44-7. Looked like Waverly was up 49-7.
Kingery coming across the set. Brick takes a snap, hands off to Edgington. Edgington's hitting the backfield, rolls off. Not a lot of room to go after that. Powers and Moore roll through on the tackle. Gain of a yard on the play for Edgington.
Edgington on the carry.
Looks like Carlisle's going to advance as well. They're up 41-21 on Newton. And Glenwood still leading Spencer.
Okay.
So that'd be another first-round upset. I think they were on the 15th seed.
If Glenwood wins, they would probably go to Lewis Central. So Lewis Central would have played the 13th and 15th in the RPI on their way to the Dome. Brick hands off to Edgington, trying to get outside. Really great lead block there. Going to be a hold, though.
Going to get a hold.
Part of the really good, I guess, that was Gavin Darling setting the edge. But
the problem with that, when you get late in the game and you need the ball back, you get to replay the down,
right.
And so more time is going to come off the clock. So the yardage is good, and you gotta accept it because
because they got too many yards. It'd be 3rd and 2 otherwise.
He got too many yards on the play. Otherwise, he would decline it.
So 2nd and 18, it looks like.
That's how I read it.
And this is kind of what you get when you play a tough team 2 weeks apart. Is, you know, it doesn't mean it's the same game. And
well, like I mentioned, we didn't have to make a lot of adjustments.
Nope.
They did, and they had some really good ones.
They did. They've really done a real good job just getting some positive momentum on those runs, finding the open guys on passes. Bennett Brick has looked extremely accurate on his passes.
Just very efficient. And then credit to their defense. Their defense bent a little bit in that first half. Really haven't bent a whole lot in the second half. Gave up 1 score, but have really taken away a lot of things. When you take away Titus's ability to run, that really does kind of change what we're able to do.
Right.
Because when he's an effective runner, you're kind of scrambling as a D coordinator of choosing what you want to stop.
Edgington up the middle again. Going to get back near the original line of scrimmage.
You might want to
gain a 4.
Think about a timeout.
I'm wondering if we've kind of accepted things and not.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I mean, it's 3 touchdowns with 1.5 minutes. I don't know what you can do to make that really work. I mean, I don't like to say, oh well, it's over.
You're gonna have to hit a couple big plays.
You're gonna have to hit a big play and kickoff, onside kick, and then a big play and then an onside kick, and even then, I don't think you have enough time for all of that.
It'll be interesting if they go for this.
4th and 11, they run the ball. It's going to get stopped there for probably no gain on the play. Edgington has 1 long run tonight, so he's going to end up with about, probably 80 yards tonight. Really hard-fought, earned yards because outside of a 40-yard run,
how many carries did he end up with? I thought he toted the rock quite a bit tonight.
I've got him at 27.
Yeah.
And
that's an earned 80 yards right there.
Yeah. Yep. So after the turnover on downs, Blue Jays have it at the 26. Hand off to Cram. He's going to try to bounce outside. Kicks back to the inside, spins through forward, trying to make a guy miss. Gets 14 on the play.
Real nice run out of Titus there, and had a lot of guys spinning in circles.
Unfortunately, I think if you're Indianola, you're still fine with that.
Yep.
As we're under a minute now at 45 seconds, Falsgraf going to come far to the right. Cram going to run up the middle again, nowhere to go. Stopped for no gain.
That could be the last play of the game. We'll see if we run another one.
With 35 seconds now, it can be the last play of the game, yeah. They spotted it. Looks like maybe we're planning on running one more play, but it will not impact the outcome of the game. Indianola Indians are going to advance to the round of 8, or second round of the 2022 playoffs, to face Cedar Rapids Xavier. Blue Jays will finish off their season at an 8-2 record in arguably the toughest district that there was in 4A. Real strong season overall, a great senior class that really did a lot for the Blue Jays. State 3 times, sophomore, junior, and senior year. And
yeah, they had a great season, both sides of the ball. Super explosive offensively, very dynamic defensively. You look at the totals. We scored 330 to 105 on the season. So definitely a really good football team. Just didn't quite have it tonight. I think we score one of those early on. Maybe it changes the momentum a little bit. But a lot of credit to Indianola, and good luck to them next week as they travel over to Cedar Rapids.
An undefeated number 1 ranked Cedar Rapids Xavier.
Yeah, they're pretty solid.
Yeah, they've had a pretty strong season. They beat North Scott, I know, and so they're looking for the dome. As we kind of recap or kind of close down the season for the Blue Jays, I guess probably shout out for Colby Collison, who's going to leave Bondurant as pretty much the all-time quarterback. He's going to have completions in a game, season, career, yards in a game, season, career, and touchdowns in a game and career. The only thing he didn't take passing-wise was a single-season touchdown. Drake Fuller still holding that with 20.
Drake still got it. All right.
And, but otherwise, Colby really kind of made a new record board for quarterbacks in Bondurant, which is going to be hard to top because of the 3-year starter and everything like that. But,
yep, for sure.
Johnny Powers, real solid defensively. He's, led the team in tackles a couple years, and I don't have the tackles records off the top of my head. Offense is prettier to me, I guess. But
a little easier to keep track of, too.
Yep. But Blue Jays will have a lot of offense coming back, a lot of good players, and so we'll look forward to seeing them next year. Great season. I think that wraps it up, probably, right?
Go Jays.
All right, good night. Go Blue Jays.